probably just start with a couple of minutes of, or not a couple of minutes, it won't seem interminable, but start with a little bit of silence, maybe a few seconds.
Yeah, I think that's
just
a good
to kind
idea.
of center.
Is that how you see?
Yes, and again, at any time, any party in the dialogue can ask to have a little bit of time out. Sometimes it's a good idea just to say, we need to step back for a few minutes here and take a few minutes of quiet and rethink how we want to proceed from here. You can do that, or Taylor, or the offender, or either of us.
And it's very spontaneous, Like I said before, we don't have any script for it. Because it's very personal, And it's mainly for you, but it's for him also. So it just goes however you want it to go.
How are you feeling right now?
I feel more nervous than I did 10 minutes ago.
We're making him nervous.
No.
We don't mean to do that.
Yeah, it's just sort of all, it's just like, a year of anticipating it. So, there's just a lot going on, right now.
Yeah.
But I'm really optimistically excited about it.
What's that?
For you.
Yeah, I'm just here to, help you and hopefully help myself, by being able to talk with you and express, my feelings about everything and, hopefully come to understand myself better, help you to, see me, as you say, as a person, not the cold-blooded killer that, they try to portray me as through the courts and the prosecutors and stuff, because that's not me. It's really not, I mean, I know that I caused, your brother's death, and just ruined my life, it's ruined everything about my future and everything, and it's hurt your family, it's hurt my family, and but it was just it was just something that I really didn't mean to do, and that's a fact. I didn't mean to kill him. I didn't want to kill him. One thing led to another. As we were walking along, I wound up tripping over a shrub brush after we'd gotten off the road and was kind of wandering through the field, and fell forward and I jabbed him, with the knife that I was holding in my hand. I didn't mean to, do it. It was knocked out of my hand. I didn't actually even know that I had, hit him with it. I knew it was knocked out of my hand. I thought it was maybe just, the brush or something else that had knocked it out of my hand. He was acting all scared and, really freaked out. And I said, man, what's the matter? Here, you hold the knife, and I held it out to him. I said, I didn't mean to stab you. Let me see what happened. Well, he snatches it out of my hand, slices me across the face, cuts my lip in half. And I was just totally shocked he did that, So I just right away charged into him, knocked him to the ground. I slid my hands up his arms to get control of his hands and try to get that knife out of his hand, and I was twisting around with the... As soon as that happened, I let loose of his hands, and I sat up, because I was kind of on, he was laying down, and I was kind of over the top of him, and as soon as, I got that blade out of the knife, well, I sat up, and I was fixing to get off of him. Well, he sat up, and right away he started swinging and jabbing at me, still with that handle, thinking that the knife was in it still, because he didn't know the blade had come out of it. He was like jabbing it into me like, and you know, he's swinging at me with his other hand, you know, at my face, and I don't know, I just out of anger, just out of desperation, just out of fury, I don't know, I just, you know, kind of slashed out at him with that damn blade, and I wound up cutting his arm, you know, and it was just happened so fast, you know, it was just, I mean, seconds, you know, not any, you know, time to think, you know, what am I doing, or what's gonna result from this, or anything like that. It just happened, you know. I mean, I had no reason to, you know, stab him intentionally. I just didn't.
You know. But you did. You did stab him. And after that, you cut his arm so much that he bled to death. And that's how he died. He wasn't a surgeon.
No.
It was you, Frank.
You know, I just feel so terrible about it, you know, because, you know, he was a young man, you know, he was just starting his life, you know, and he just, you know, I think back a lot of, you know, and remember back in those days when I was that age, and thinking that, you know, I had, my life was, you know, where I wanted it to be, and I had all these plans, and, you know, how a person is always thinking that they, you know, are very mature and they know everything and everything, you know, once you start to get that age, but as you get older and older and older, you look back and think, shit, was I wrong, you know? Grown up a lot since then, you know? You know, there's no truth to that at all. There really isn't. You know, there's no truth to it, whatever. We didn't have any kind of relationship like that at all. Nothing. I mean, you knew your brother. He wasn't that way, was he?
I don't know. I unfortunately didn't know my brother very well. Um, you know, we were close. He was my brother, but we fought all the time. And, you know, one of the things that has been a huge regret in my life as a result of this is that I never really felt like I got to know Charlie as much as I wanted to, or as well as I wanted to, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it never felt like we got the chance to get through the teenage period where brothers fight like cats and dogs. And I'd love to. I would have loved to, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I think often about what he would be now and what our relationship would be. I'd like to think that he approved of what I've done with my life, and probably wouldn't approve. I probably wouldn't have approved what he was going to do with his, but you know, I think we could have been pretty close.
Yeah, I've lost members of my family too. My brother, died. My sisters died. My mom and my father both died. Anytime, you lose somebody in your life like that, it just leaves a big hole. Like I say, I don't really know your brother that well, but his death has put a bigger hole in my life than any of my family members have. Just because I just can't explain away his death, or I can't forget about his death. My whole life is just, I mean, this looks pretty nice in here. Believe me, this ain't nothing what I live like. My future's ruined. My family, you know, you know, their whole life has been changed because of it. They've always got to be helping me out with money or doing things for me that, they shouldn't have to do for a 45-year-old son or brother. But here I am.
My grandfather was a fairly strict Mormon, and while I was shooting this film, he died, and I talked to him once before. About a year ago, I had the chance to visit with him in his nursing home for the last time. And while we were there, he said, he had talked about forgiveness. And one of the things that he said, which is, one of the last things we talked about, was that he feels like he forgives you, or he could forgive you. Because, well, for him, sort of, forgiveness was one of the things that, that Mormons believe is kind of like one of the gifts of having Jesus Christ, is that, he made it so that all of our sins would be forgiven by God, and so it's kind of our duty to forgive other people. So I wanted you to know that he did say that he feels like he could forgive you for what you did. I'm not at the same place that my grandfather is with that. I know that you didn't want to kill Charlie, but I'm not ready to make that next step. Because I think that when you forgive someone, you forgive them totally.
Here in this place, they have the different units that we're housed in, right? You got A, B, C, D, E, and F, and then they got this S dorm where they have the feds and stuff, and then the SEG, they call that IMC or ICU or something like that. But each unit, like A is Alpha, B is Bravo, C. Every time I hear that, it breaks my heart.
Well, you know, a lot of people in my family have died as well, and I just, in the last year, realized that it's okay to think about them and their life and not their death. So I don't know if in the very short time you know Charlie, he ever made you laugh, or you guys did something that you remember as at all a pleasant memory, but I can tell you, when you allow yourself to remember those things and completely separate them from the actual death, it completely opens up a place for you to remember the person as someone you loved or as a friend, and not just someone who died. And it can completely change the way you think of death and dying.
Say, hello,
Hello,
my name,
my name is Andrew Cedarbucker.
and I am
Andrew, that's 2,
3.
4, 5,
3. I'm 3 years old,
4. Yeah, I'm 3 years old.
and I live
With
with,
you.
who's you? Grandma.
Yeah,
Sometimes.
because I'm being a jerk.
Are you being a jerk?
Yeah,
I try not to be. Say, I try not to be a jerk.
I try not to be a jerk,
But sometimes I am.
but sometimes you are a jerk.
Thank you.